What do we think, Elizabeth? We're doing companion feeding, which means that there's two tigers and two caretakers, two different diets. I'm going to make sure everybody gets the proper diet here on this live post, as Noah and Elizabeth, two of our rescued residents, just like all of our rescued residents, have a tailored diet specified just for them. What do you think, Miss Elizabeth? Oh, here comes a big boy around the corner. Tiger Noah, Tiger Elizabeth. What a cute and lovely greeting you have for your beau, Noah, Miss Elizabeth. Hello and welcome, everyone. Happy live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Doing some companion feeding outside feline meadows. That is caretaker Katrina. Cool to think that we're getting a double dose of Katrina. Would have been kicking butt on yesterday's live post if you tuned in. Noah enjoying a nice chicken piece there. Certainly thinking about yesterday's feeding live post compared to this. Some of the tigers can be pretty vocal during feeding time, but, a tiger like Noah, a little bit more subdued. Would you agree, Katrina?
Yeah, except for a few of them do like to get a little riled, but cougars definitely, I feel, take the cake.
They do. They take the cake. That's a great phrase to use. And, just like our cats might be unique in the ways that they eat, also, as you heard me mention, unique in what their diets consist of. Noah and Elizabeth on a tailored diet for Noah, as you know, one of our largest rescues. When he came to us, he was a little overweight. And Noah... obviously, we want Noah to have as long, as happy, and healthy of a life as possible. So Noah, for example, he is on a little bit more of what I would call a weight loss diet. Different cuts of food, and making sure that Noah is going to be able to drop that weight that he's needed to drop to live a happy, healthy, and long life here at Sanctuary. And it looks like Animal Care Intern, we're doing some companion feeding. Animal Care Intern Morgan partnered up with Miss Elizabeth here, who was just lapping up some juice. Katrina, there is never anything wasted here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I do always get a kick at kind of the juice luge, if you will, that you guys are able to do with the cats. Yes, our cats, Olivia did a great job of describing. Our cats are wild cats. They have a wild diet, consists of a raw diet and some juices that are coming off of that food. None are wasted when you guys luge them down the tongs into their mouth. So fun. Well, Katrina, you had a kind of an awesome time, and you circled the whole area in Cougar Cove yesterday. But today, we only have you just for Noah and Elizabeth. So thank you, Katrina, and thank you, feed these two. And onward and forward, what's next for you two?
We'll probably feed some other cats. Want to try and get to Miss Sushi before it gets too hot. She's a little particular.
So full day. Yeah, more cat feeding, surely some cleaning in there, waters, all the summer to-dos. And Morgan, you've been here for, holy cow, maybe a month, 3 weeks? Okay, a month. And Morgan, you're originally from Ohio. Love it or hate it. Are you loving the Wildcat Sanctuary or hating it?
I'm loving it.
Okay, all right. I was trying to harness my inner Larry King, Katrina. I'm trying to be a lot more succinct with my questioning. But nonetheless, Morgan, thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your expertise and gaining some expertise from people like Katrina while caring for the cats here. Well, cool. Thanks again, you two, and I so much appreciate it. I'll probably hang out with Noah and Elizabeth for a little bit, everyone, and then we'll do a little bit of a sanctuary stroll here.
You guys have a good day.
Awesome. Thank you again, Katrina. Thank you, Morgan. What do you think, Mr. Handsome Noah? He says, well, there go my caretakers. And there's also that cool indoor bedroom that has my big tiger bed inside, so I might hang out with this fella for a little bit. Seen some Ohio shout-outs from Jeannie Curry, and I appreciate everyone. If I missed out on some hellos as you've been filing into this live post today, kind of jumped right into it, feeding one of our largest tiger rescues. That's Big Noah here. Yeah, look at that big noggin. It takes up the whole screen. He says, I'll give you a truff when you give me another chicken piece, young man. Marcy Sanborn saying, love Noah and Elizabeth. Had a good visit with them last September during our VIP event. That's so awesome, Marcy. And kind of Elizabeth right there, kind of clearing out her nose there, kind of sneezing at me. I should mention that I've kind of been filming Noah and Elizabeth in just one of the far kind of corners of their habitat here. But as you know, here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, all of our habitats, or rather, all of our shifts and indoor bedroom are attached to those species-specific free-roaming habitats. So tigers, Noah and Elizabeth, they have their big tiger habitat waiting for them. You might have heard Katrina, but it is a little hot today. So a cat like Noah, I found him hanging out in his indoor bedroom. Tarek and Polina, who are also here in Feline Meadows, they were hanging out in their indoor bedroom. They certainly, the central animal buildings certainly keep cool on days like today where we're getting up into the mid 80s. So for any and all of our cats, the fact that they have tons of places inside of their free roaming habitat to get out of the sun and seek shade, knowing that they also have their indoor bedrooms, which it's probably about a 10 or so, even more temperature degree difference than the outside. Well, what's the plan, Miss Elizabeth? She says, I'm feeling a little vitamin D after my lunch. Heidi Larkin saying hello from a super hot SoCal, hot in Southern California. Yowzers, I can only imagine the type of heat you're getting down there. Hope you're staying safe. And Marcy, shame on me too, on our group page, on the I Love Wildcat Sanctuary group page, talking about some of the auction items, and to think you making that comment and mentioning how you had a special moment with Noah and Elizabeth in person during our VIP event, knowing that the Wildcat Sanctuary is closed to the public, and to think about an opportunity like that for you to have an in-person special moment with one of our rescues is cool to think about that. So definitely knowing with that auction active and all the TWS keepsakes, that not only are there the keepsakes, but there are kind of those real life experiences that are being offered. That's a typical tiger hangout spot for Miss Elizabeth here. She loves her little zigzag shade structure, and that's exactly what that is. We kind of purposely put those panels going horizontal along that shade structure just to break any of the sunlight coming through. And that is really a typical kind of hangout spot for a cat like Miss Elizabeth here. So as she grooms, I'm going to maybe catch up on some comments. I am going to check around the corner to see if Mr. Noah went back inside or not. Jill Finney saying good morning. Hey, Jill. Hope all is well. Joanne Clark saying hi. And you just moved from hot SoCal. And Joanne, I in particular can vouch for that hot and muggy North Carolina. And though it was beautiful, my trip down there, I did a little 4th of July vacay. Hot and muggy was the theme. Kelly Howe's checking in and saying good afternoon to myself and the TWS family. Hey, Kelly. Ooh, Marla Blair checking in with 117 degrees in Phoenix today. Admittedly, I've been seeing a lot of photos on social media of melted blinds coming from kind of the Phoenix. And so hot sun down there, and serious sun. Please stay safe. Maria P saying hi to myself and Elizabeth. It looks like Noah's still hanging out in his shift here, so we're going to go get a little more Noah time in. Lori Heath, man, it is just hot wherever people are checking in from. 100 degrees in Salt Lake. Yuck. That is right, Lori. Stay cool and stay safe. Hey, Mr. Handsome. Yeah, and even just stepping into the shade like this, Noah, that gives me a good idea as to why a cat like you wants to stay in the shade as opposed to the sun. 107 in Oregon. Whoa, Terry Anderson for kind of the northwest coast like that. That seems pretty darn warm. Yowzer. Lori Pringle checking in from a humid southeast Florida. And certainly so, if anybody's checking in from Texas, hope all is doing well after kind of some of the remains of Hurricane Beryl made their way through there. Kathy at the Rock saying, hello, TWS gang, Judson, Elizabeth, and Kiara from old muggy Wisconsin. It's muggy, it's hot, it is just one of those summer weeks, Mr. Noah. And to be expected, we're moving into mid-July. It's going to get hot, and that's where you're going to see lots of tiger pools being filled, lots of icy enrichment being doled out. Mr. Noah and Miss Elizabeth, who do you think we can find here? Admittedly, Tarek and Polina, they're hanging out in their indoor bedroom. So I will still go around this way, but I might miss out on Tarek and Polina, but maybe I can go visit with the Ukraine Pride for a moment, and then we can see where we're at after that. But again, pretty Miss Elizabeth looks like she's finished up her post-meal grooming, and she says, not just yet, mister. A few more paws to be cleaned yet. Pretty eventful more. We had a really awesome and kind of much overdue company-wide photo. So all of the interns, all the animal care staff, all the office staff, we got to come together for a big group photo. And once you know, herding a bunch of humans that work for cats for a living, wouldn't you know that herding the humans themselves would be like herding cats? But no, with a little bit of extra effort, we were able to get everybody documented. We were able to take an animal care photo. We were able to take just a staff-wide photo. So a fun morning of herding the human cats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, rather. Looking down at my screen, Jim Brill's getting excited about catching a live. Glad to have you, Jim. Glad to have you on this live post. Got to see Noah and Elizabeth earlier. I'm going to walk across this bridge, and I think we'll go hang out with the Pride for a moment. And who can blame them for taking it easy on a day like today? Creeping into the mid-80s here in Sandstone, Minnesota. Nice to have a breeze today. It was pretty darn still yesterday. You can see the outline of a mohawk, which would be Taras on the far left. And then I know that Prada is kind of down in the grass, so we can barely see. But I am not sure if that's Lacia or Stefania next to Taras there. Might find out maybe when I get a lion stock here. Henyada asking, isn't sushi supposed to have a live here soon, or am I remembering wrong? Well, you are remembering quite accurately, Henyada. Soon, as in tomorrow. We are hoping to fill up Sushi's puzzle feeder, which has been really one of her favorite pieces of enrichment as of late in her new habitat over in Cattail Creek. So tomorrow they're going to be setting up Sushi's puzzle feeder, and I'm looking forward to featuring her on a live post. You might know that typically Thursdays are when we do our Wildcat wrap-ups, but rest assured, Tammy will still be doing her Wildcat wrap-up at 1 p.m., and I'm hoping to do Sushi's live kind of in between that 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. hour. Hey, love to see that. And for anybody local, one of our awesome volunteers and a part of our TWS outreach team, Dave Lynch, getting excited about, and rightfully so, that the TWS outreach team will be at the West St. Paul Pride Fest this Saturday. So if you're in the Twin Cities, please stop by and see Dave, and obviously maybe learn more about the Wildcat Sanctuary if you'd like to learn more, but maybe you're already familiar with us and you just want to see some of the people who volunteer their time and kick buck for the cats. That's awesome. I hope it's a great weekend for you, Dave, and hopefully not too hot. Kathy Barton always cutting up as she enters a live post here. Hello and welcome, nonetheless. Tanya's getting excited about Sushi's live tomorrow. I am too. If I'm not mistaken, this would kind of be a full-on kind of Sushi debut in her new space via a live post. So I am holding out hope. Truthfully, everyone, it is hot out. Not only am I hot, but many of the cats are making kind of wise decisions, and as you can tell, seeking out plenty of shade. They know they have their indoor bedrooms. So I'm maybe going to get a closer look at the Ukraine Pride, and then I think we're going to call it a live post for the day, because I could do some strolling, but admittedly, you'd probably be stuck with me jib-jabbering the whole time while we found a bunch of cats way off in the distance hanging out in their shade or in their indoor bedroom. So I'll spare everyone of that, and we'll hold out and get excited for Sushi's live tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's a hoof and a hike over here, lions. You guys have such a large space. I get out of breath walking around it. Let's see who we have here. This is going to be good for everyone to see. A little Lacia Stephania comparison. It's going to be Lacia on the bottom, Stephania on the top. Lacia having that mark kind of on the bridge of her nose where Stephania does not. You might be able to tell, but I often believe that Stephania has a little bit more rounded of the top of her skull than Lacia, so that's another little ID tool that I use. And then it's not surefire, but their ear hair. I often say Lacia just has these hairy inner ears and a little bit more pronounced and a little more wild, if you will, than her sister Stephania behind her. But I've been waiting for a shot like this, admittedly, when we're always wondering who's who. What's the difference between Lacia and Stephania? We know that Prada, who's kind of the surrogate sibling of Stephania, Lacia, and Taras, kind of has a unique look onto herself, and I think for the most part that our team has done a good job of identifying her among the pride. But rest assured, Lacia and Stephania will sometimes still trick us sometimes, but using those little tricks, like I mentioned, that kind of mark on Lacia's nose, which you might see there right on the bridge of her nose, which Stephania doesn't have. I will look at the top of their skull and look at the shape there, and then we can maybe look back at the ear hair for maybe one of the final guesses. Certainly little indications looking at their nose and kind of the spots on the whiskers that maybe some people use as well. I know the caretakers have a method of looking at the dots on their lips as well. But this is a good moment to get a close look at these two gals here. A little 50-50 of who's who. And of course, Miss Prada. I see Faith clamoring for a main update on Taras. We certainly will have to get over there. But there's Prada just fooling around, biting at the blades of grass, being the free soul that she is. And then Taras not minding me any attention, kind of facing the opposite way. But we'll get a reverse main zoom in at least. He's kind of glancing over at me now. Well, that's hardly an update on our main watch, Mr. Taras. But your sisters are being a lot more photogenic than you are. At least we can get a good profile of some of the volume Taras is starting to get in his little teenage mane here. A little bit of height, Mr. Taras. I used to have to put gel in my hair to get it to stand up like that. You must be getting your sisters to lick it up like alfalfa or something here. I guess that's a little better of a look of the back of his mane, but you can see it getting a little darker, but it's still not going to be as, kind of stunning as seeing the front of him and how long the fur coming down his chest is continuing to grow. It's really incredible. Alrighty, everyone. I had a pleasure today doing a little bit of a sanctuary stroll after feeding rescued tigers Noah and Elizabeth. Noah, that big handsome dude, and the always inquisitive and pleasant Elizabeth. And we got to visit with Katrina as well as animal care intern Morgan. So I had a blast, everyone. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. We know that every week we can look forward to Tammy's Wildcat Wrap-Up on Thursday, which will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. But tomorrow, looking forward to doing a live post with Sushi. We're going to be putting out her puzzle feeder and looking forward to seeing just how confident she is in her new space and how we've been able to see that and hoping to share it with you all, our lovely supporters. So from the Ukraine Pride, from Elizabeth and Noah, Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary tomorrow. See you, everyone.